Hi, everybody. It's November 13th, 2025, and this is the weekly Backdrop Dev meeting. We got just a small group here today and also some time constraints, so we're going to kind of zoom through today's meeting. Real quick, some introductions. My name is Nate Lampton. I'm the core committer, and technically for the Backdrop project, I'm known as Quick Sketch on the internet. And I'm joined here today by Justin Christofferson. Justin, can you say a quick couple of words about yourself?
Yeah, Justin Christopherson. I'm coming out of Denver, Colorado, and I volunteer mostly with the infrastructure for Backdrop.
Great, thanks, Justin. We'll see if anybody else joins with us today, but a reminder for those that join or watch these meetings, the time changed on us, and that might have something to do with the attendance, that these meetings are always held at the same time UTC, and it does not adjust with daylight savings time. And so what happened for those of us in North America is this meeting is now an hour earlier than it was 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, this meeting may have changed times on you, which is intentional. That sometimes that allows different audiences around the world to make these meetings during different times of the year. So it's possible we may get more or less European attendance, for example, to these meetings at the new time. So it's been a exciting couple of weeks. We had Backdrop Live last week, Thursday and Friday. That's why we didn't have a weekly dev meeting last week. Backdrop Live was really excellent. As always, a lot of really great conversations. There are no recordings from Backdrop Live. That's a common thing. That's why it's called live. It's because you do it once and it's part of the experience there. However, there are a lot of presentations that people found to be very useful or insightful. And so St. Paul Tim Erickson is going and asking speakers to re-record their presentations during user group meetings. And so in the following weeks to come, a lot of the sessions that were had at Backdrop Live may be re-recorded during uh, these weekly meetings that are every other week, the user groups meetings, which I don't think is today. It's next week. So, uh, yeah, soliciting volunteers over Zulip. If you're interested in presenting something that you talked about in a user group meeting or from Backdrop Live, please reach out to him. Let's see. The contributed module update for this week. We've had three new contributed modules come out since the beginning of the month. There's the Taxonomy Manager module and Term Merge module for managing taxonomy terms, and Views Delimited List. All three of those are module ports over from Drupal. Thank you, as always, to our contrib maintainers constantly pulling over new modules. So let's see. I mostly wanted to talk about during my presentation this week, or sorry, last week during Backdrop Live, I was looking forward to the 133 milestone, the version of Backdrop that will come out early next year on January 15th. So we've got November and December, well, half of November and December to implement some features for the next version of Backdrop, which will be Backdrop 133. And uh, there are some good candidates here. The one that we've already been talking about is Justin, are you seeing my browser screen over here? Just making sure I've got the right screen showing.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So this multiple HTML5 attribute, Doc Wellman and I keep swapping back and forth between um, pull requests trying to get this going. And I'm making some headway. I'm taking this one on for the 133 release, and hopefully we'll get to see some more progress there soon. This new issue, PHP 8.5 support, I opened this up last week. The new version of PHP comes out a week from today. PHP 8.5. And it looks like maintaining compatibility with it looks like it's going to be pretty trivial for this release, which is a relief after a number of challenging PHP releases that, yeah, really had some difficulty in maintaining compatibility. I checked just before this meeting that a new version of DDEV was released just last week that includes PHP 8.5. So that should make it for people that are using DDEV for their local development environments have an easy way to just turn on PHP 8.5 in your DDEV configuration to switch to PHP 8.5. It's using like RC3 or something like that because PHP 8.5 isn't actually out yet. Um, and then the GitHub action that we use also supports PHP 8.5. So we can turn that on really easily in our simple test workflow. So yeah, there's nobody working on this yet. I think that it's mostly find and replace a couple of const or a couple of the types, like we're using the word Boolean instead of bool. Um, in some places, it doesn't happen very often, but we just need to do a find replace, it looks like probably on our code base, and then run the test suite on PHP 8.5 and make sure everything passes. Fingers crossed, it's really that simple. Um, let's see, other issues for 133. There's this layout template types issue. I'm not going to go into this one because we've talked about it many times before. Same with cache tags. Some of these issues are like long running issues that have pull requests. Um, some of them can be a little stuck, but the scope of them is been covered many times. But I want to talk about these two other issues, which are really good candidates for Backdrop 133. This one in particular, uh, updating core bulk operations to select all items on all pages. Uh, this is what it looks like in Drupal 7. Um, there's no pull request for this issue, but this is an issue that is one of our top 10 feature requests. I think it's number 4, our fourth most requested feature. And there's a lot of prior art for it. And I think that solving this problem would both be a really great end user feature, would be great for presentation. There's already a lot of existing art out there on how to implement it, and it just seems like it's a really great candidate. However, there's been zero effort in actually implementing this at this point. So we're looking for champion. We call them um, can't remember the name, an advocate. We're looking for an advocate for this issue. You don't actually have to be the coder for this, but now with AI tools out there, you probably could get pretty far just by prompting and making this with some help of some AIs. So yeah, looking for an advocate and a champion on this bulk operations. I think it would be a great issue for us to pick up. Likewise, this is another good option or a good candidate for a feature. Add the option to globally disable comments on a content type. And this is surprisingly, um, like it's surprising that this doesn't exist already to me. That when you disable comments on a content type right now, it only sets the default of comments per node to be off. And you can still turn comments on any individual node, uh, even if like yeah, even you can only specify the default. Like are comments open by default or closed by default? But you can't actually turn off comments entirely on a content type. The options are always there. And that's really silly. So this issue does have a pull request. although it hasn't been picked up in a long time. So I'd like to revisit this issue as well, as a good candidate for Backdrop 133. No advocate on this one, but there is a pull request at least. And this has been open for quite a while now, 7 years. Okay. Yeah, I said earlier I've got a stop here in just 5 minutes. And those are the issues that I really wanted to highlight, just the opportunities for Backdrop 133 that I see. If other people have other suggestions for Backdrop 133 features, I'd love to hear them. The best thing to do, you can ping in Zulip, but the best thing to do is mark an issue as a milestone candidate. And if possible, if you're interested in advocating for any issue, edit the issue summary and add your own name as an advocate, and then move it into the 133 milestone. Right now, there's hardly anything in the 133 milestone itself. There's lots and lots of things that are being implemented in minor bug fix versions and just incremental improvements all over the place. But these kinds of features that we put into the minor versions, there hasn't been a lot of activity as of late, and we'd like to get those things moving forward. So that's all I've got for today. Justin, do you have anything you'd like to add before we close?
No, nothing, no movement over here on the infrastructure side.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll call it a meeting then. Thank you, Justin, for joining, and thank you everybody out there that watches these, and we'll see everybody next week. Bye.